Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. This is Trading with Livevol. My name is Stephen Choi, and this is where I trade my Reg T account, and I use LVX to trade. So basically, this is like the Finvis heat map. Looks like the whole market is up. Something interesting that's happening in the marketplace is basically you're just having one up day and then one down day. One up day, one down day, one up day, one down day. I guess the question is whether we can have another up day on Monday, or are we going to reverse and go back down? So just to cover some of my stocks. I'm having a pretty good day, but essentially I lost more than this yesterday. So, you know, more like I might be like slightly down, right? If anything. So, what just happened here? Honeywell. Looks like I lost $7 grand in Honeywell. But I think it might be Marks again. Yeah, it looks like it's Marks. I put on this butterfly, so it shouldn't really. That's why when I say sometimes it's Marks, it's just Marks. So anyway, so I had a pretty good day. You guys can see I'm $630,000. Dollar delta along the market. So the market being up so much, you know, I'm probably having a pretty good day. But I did lose more yesterday, so it's not really one-to-one. So some of the stocks, the one I wanted to talk to you guys about is UUP, the dollar. I think basically the Fed put the kibosh on UUP going hyperbolic again, just because now they're essentially saying that they have an eye on the US dollar, even though they didn't come out and specifically say it. So I think they're going to actually, the Fed's not in favor of the dollar rising so quickly. They might be in favor of it rising slowly, but not rapidly, because that prevents all the large conglomerates from hedging correctly. Because it's impossible to hedge when the dollar versus euro is moving that quickly. So I'm kind of excited that it's falling back down, because I can pick up more options. So as you guys know, I had these puts here. I sold them out yesterday, which I shouldn't have. I should have kept them. But anyway, I sold them out yesterday. I still have these 83 puts. And then I added 5 more calls today. So, you know, eventually I'm just going to keep adding calls because I am long-term bullish dollar. And these options that I'm buying is January. So I got plenty of time. So I'm pretty excited about it. And so I'm going to keep adding. The thing that could derail the dollar from going higher is not. So when I look at why I picked the dollar and Yahoo for the long-term calls, it's because I felt like there was upside, but then also there was limited downside. So when I looked at the scenarios, the US dollar going down significantly, in my opinion, was very low. I think the only way it would happen is something that you couldn't plan for, something catastrophic, or like a natural disaster or terrorist attack, or some kind of event in Europe, maybe Greece or Ukraine, something that you couldn't plan for happening could cause the dollar reversal. But I think the way it's going, it's just, you know, it's retracing back to the support line, and essentially I think it's going to go higher for the rest of the year. If you were to like buy UUP now to the end of the year, I think it'll be higher. So I'm comfortable with adding to the position, and that's what I intend to do as time goes. So every pullback, I'm thinking of adding. The other one is Yahoo, and you know, as I talked earlier, looks like Yahoo is actually getting a decent. It's kind of like at the upper range of this Bollinger Band, threatening to go out of the Bollinger Band. BABA just had their 437 million shares unlocked. I'm not sold that. I'm not convinced that that Alibaba is going to go straight up from here. It actually looks like it's just going to consolidate for a while. So I have been buying Yahoo calls. I think I have 5 so far. Right, so I just keep buying them. So far, it's worked out pretty well. And so if there was like a pullback or something, I'll buy more. And the reason I'm buying Yahoo calls is, again, I felt like the downside was low. Because even if Alibaba were to go down drastically, which I think at around 85, the downside is limited for Alibaba to maybe the IPO price of 68. Yahoo, I think, is still, they still have the intrinsic value of the company itself, which is not valued at all. So that's why I like Yahoo for the long run, right? So the Yahoo and UUP, those are why I got those. And as you guys know, if you guys been listening to me, I'll just cover these real quick. So VOYA had a pretty good up day, and then they sold off, but the volume's pretty low, so I almost can't even take. I almost can't even take anything that happened today into the equation. But as long as it kind of like stays still within this range, I think it'll be okay. And then if you look at the overall market, it's kind of getting near to the top. I was looking at the VIX yesterday. The one reason why I didn't get out of all my longs was the VIX was actually. So if you look at the VIX closing price, was 1397 the prior day, and then 1407. So it went 1/10 of a point, even though the market sold off 10 points, which kind of made me think like the vol was going to head downward. So that made me a little more confident in keeping the long position, just because the volatility didn't spike. So if the volatility spiked yesterday, I would be more apt to get out of my position, of course. The other one is CTRP. I don't have anything on this. It was just interesting to me because it's a Chinese like travel website. I guess they beat earnings. But thing that was interesting to me on this was once it actually has this huge up movement, it's usually followed up with more buying afterwards, right? So like this upward movements, then it went out. This upward movement, it went higher. So I'm wondering if this upward movement will actually generate the stock to get out of the range. Now, for the long term, I don't know too much about this stock, and personally, I'm not that into companies that don't make any money. This is one of them. I guess just that they're growing very quickly. So I think it's something to consider. I would have bought some calls probably on this just as a short-term play, but I'm pretty much, I kind of don't want to lean any longer than I am currently. Let me actually check this. BMY. Yeah, so I don't want to lean any longer because I'm already long. I'm plenty long, so you know if the market keeps going up, I'll probably do well. So the last thing I want to do is keep doubling down on the same bet, right? So just as a wrap up, oh, I'm sorry I couldn't make it yesterday. Sometimes I just get busy and I can't make it. But yesterday wasn't that big a deal. The market sold off, and then it basically kind of did the same thing it did like 2 days prior. the dollar moved up, the UUP moved up pretty rapidly for me. So it was one of those things where I don't have the experience of trading UUP, but I'll know better next time. But for now, you know, I'm long quite a bit. So if the market, you know, keeps going up, so what are they up? So SPX is up like about 1%. If I can make about 5,000 for every 1% up move, that's pretty long. So I'm kind of taking it easy. I am tempted to buy some calls, but it's Friday. And even if I buy it at the end of the day when they're going to take some of that decay into account over the weekend, you're still going to lose quite a bit on Monday. So I usually don't like to buy on Friday unless like there's some dire or really good reason. Usually I'm just going to wait until Monday, plus like it's expiration Friday. So, you know, you have options expiring, plus you have 3 other things happening, which I think it might be better just to wait until Monday to do. So that's about it. Hope you guys are trading well. Just generally, as a summary, this past month, I am down like 18 grand. So it's not really that great. Maybe if I make 5, I'll be down 13, which still isn't great. But hopefully I can turn this around. I just need something where it's, you know, the way I like to trade is I like to go with the momentum. And basically, even though this momentum's been up, if you actually were long calls, each of these sell-offs they almost look like reversals, right? So it's a little tricky, but I'm hoping on Monday we'll have another update. I think if we do break out of this, there is a decent chance that we're gonna really rally. Let me see. Yeah, so Alcoa earnings is April the 8th, which kind of starts the next earnings cycle. So I don't think, like, once the new earnings cycle starts, I don't think we're really going to rally, right? Because everyone's going to wait for the earnings. So there's like a little gap between now and essentially like first week of April. So there's about 2 weeks, I feel like, where the market can move up because there is no real big news coming out, other than possibly Greece and what's happening over there. So hopefully they'll iron it out. When I look at the European markets, they don't seem to be that concerned with Greece, which makes me think maybe, you know, I'm too concerned. But in the end, I think Greece could be a problem that people aren't accounting for. But in my viewpoint, this next 2 weeks is a good time for the market to rally ahead of the next cycle of earnings. Because once that earnings starts, it'll be difficult for the market just to rally without actually getting some good news from the company. So usually the banks are the first ones to kick it off. Last time, the banks had horrible earnings, which kind of put a damper on earnings altogether in January. But maybe they might actually have pretty decent earnings this time, and that could that might propel the market higher. But I really feel like it's gonna, this next couple of weeks, there is some chance that we can actually really go higher, because I don't think there's any resistance to the marketplace now that the dollar has been tamed. So other than that, I hope you guys are doing well. Have a great weekend, and I will talk to you guys on Monday. Take care.